For the first time ever, we have just seen some gameplay of Planet Coaster 2, and boy, there's a lot to talk about. From new unique ride type names to the pathing tool finally being fixed, to finding out about new flat rides and learning more about the water slide builder. I can't wait to still build that 600-foot drop slide, and even new management stuff. And also, as exciting as it gets, a new lift hill sound. There is genuinely so much to cover in this video, so be sure to watch till the end so you don't miss anything. And if you are new around here and you want to see more Planet Coaster 2 content, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Right, Planet Coaster 2 then. If you don't know, it's being released and it's coming out in fall, and they actually showed us a teaser trailer back at the start of July, which if you want to see a video covering all about that teaser trailer, link in top right. Whichever way right is. But that trailer was rather interesting and it gave us a little look into the game and its features. However, this time they've gone and released a small little trailer and then followed it up with a massive 15-minute segment of deep diving into the game, including after that a live gameplay playthrough, all of which they're going to look at the new and upgraded features in the game. It's about time we get to see what's in Planet Coaster 2. So be sure to pull down your restraints, buckle your seatbelts, and be ready for my deep dive of the deep dive of Planet Coaster 2. So as you can see, we have a few people on a couch, and then it cuts to a gameplay trailer, a small little insight into what we can see. And this is just scratching the surface, by the way. And I've slowed this down so we can have a proper look, because as you can see, we've already got a brand new water slide with the bowl that will eventually sort of let you out into the pool at the bottom. And I do really hope that we get the option for this type of slide to have it go down into oblivion like that, or do what some slides do the bowl and then continue down a little bit more of a slide. Would be cool to see both. Here we have some sort of really high up bouncing flat ride. Not too sure what that is. And there is a raft boat style ride. I mean, to be fair, those laterals, they should be just flying out of their boat and off the slide entirely. But it's fine. And after seeing that person slide off almost, we have a diver into the pool and then the deep dive. A diver, dive. We're introduced to Rich and Adam, and then they take us through Planet Coaster 2. As you can see right here, bad frame rate because I've slowed it down because again, it goes way too fast. We get a first look at the pools, and in the background you can actually see very low quality. It says wave pool, so I would assume we are going to get some sort of, I don't know, machinery thing that you can stick in a pool and it will create those waves to create a wave pool, funnily enough. We have a look at the Intamin Mega Coaster there. It looks pretty much the same as Planet Coaster 1. But as you can see, we get our first proper look of the gameplay footage. This is a work in progress development build, so if it looks a bit weird, that is why. And as you can see on our screens right now, you're going to have to follow my cursor, not the one over there, because that even tricked me for a second. But we get a look, first of all, at this pool with a very lonely dive board. Someone give it a friend, please. In the background, we have 3 different slides there. It's got a green tube one at the start, and then a red one, and a blue down drop slide sort of thing. So the customization with those slides is going to be endless. We also get our first look at the brand new lifeguard staff member, because as you can see at the bottom, there is a lifeguard chair, and the lifeguard is actually in the pool. It looks like they're just swimming around because they've dropped their buoyancy thing. Lifeguards want to swim too, you know. And other than that, there is the massive yellow and transparent water slide in the background. That's a drop slide. Well, my worst nightmare. In other words, one of those ones where you stand there like this and the floor just goes. They're horrendous, I hate them so much. But to see them in Planet Coaster 2 is amazing, and the fact we're going to get the chance to change between tube slide and transparent tube slide and just regular half pipe one, that's very cool for customization. There are shops to buy sort of rubber rings and just merchandise, I guess. There are also, of course, in a water park, changing rooms, and they have put them in the game as well. Sun loungers right here as well. You can stick them on the side of wherever you want. I might stick mine in the pool. From there then, we then get a look at some of the amazing water slides coming to the game, like this fly trap. Look at that. That's so cool. The way the raft's spinning around, it spins quite fast and sort of goes like that very quickly. And also it seems like the raft does just despawn into the pool at the end rather than, I guess, having guests stack them up somewhere. and then having a queue to get them. We get another look at the bowl slide there. As you can see, a guest going down it, although I'm trying to zoom in. Oh, we're completely different slide now. This is the boomerang slide that they spoke about, and as you can see, they go down a sort of tube and then swing back into another section of the slide. It just excites me so much with how much customization possibilities there are going to be with those slides. I do actually wonder, with the complexity of these slides, if it is possible for guests to get stuck halfway down. I mean, if they have to push themselves along anyway, then it's not really a water slide, it's just water. But I'm sure we'll see when the game releases. But for now, we are going to put the water parks aside, because we're now going to talk about the coasters. So far, we could call this game Planet Water Park, but it is still Planet Coaster. Because as you can see, they navigate themselves over to the station of what looks to be a Vekoma sit-down coaster. And it's a very generic looking train, but you can see on the front, there is something peculiar there. And also on the sides, because I didn't realise there's lights there. Now on that coaster, they didn't really show how to do this, but they explained that you can put scenery items and attach them to the train, so the trains will go around with those scenery pieces on them, which is something I didn't know we needed. So thank you, Frontier. But later on in the live stream, they do actually end up showing people how to go about doing this. And as you can see, they're sort of scrolling through. Are they going to choose a light? There we go. And there is a white box that you can build in, so you can actually sort of place the scenery on it, and it will move with that car of the train, I guess. So clearly we're going to be able to make way more realistic and amazing looking front ride cars that will set them apart from other people's builds, because I am totally going to build a Wickerman front car on a train when we get to play this game. But something only the eagle-eyed would catch from zooming out of this station is the fact there are 3 different exit and entrance paths into the ride. Well, the main queue, of course, and the exit paths, those are 2 very much normal ones. Well, what is that third path in? Well, there's only one thing it could really be, and that's fast track. If we actually go onto Planet Coaster 1, ignore this weird ass coaster I've made. If you have an entrance and an exit to a ride in Planet Coaster 1, you go to enable priority pass and click this, and then you can place down a fast track entrance, but it has to be in the main queue for some reason, and my game is dying. What is happening? But that would go there, and then we can place the exit for the fast track queue here, and then we connect them up like so. Why on earth is a fast track queue starting in a main queue and then ending in a main queue? Shouldn't it be just an entirely separate entity anyway? Well, clearly with those 3 different queues, that is what they have done. They have made 3 separate things: main queue, fast track, and an exit, which is amazing. And also, like in Planet Zoo with the enclosures, you now have to have power near the ride to power the ride and make sure it works. I don't really know why that was never a thing anyway, because you need power in life to run roller coasters. On the Vekoma as well, when they're talking, they sort of go silent for a second, and you can hear what sounds like a new lift hill sound. I'll compare it with the other one from Planet Coaster 1 and see if it's any similar. Okay, they are different, I'm not just going crazy. But after that Vekoma sit-down section, they do actually wrap up that deep dive. But, as I've said, they continued on and played even more and gave us more gameplay. And later in the stream, they do vaguely and briefly open up the coaster selection page for custom coasters, and there's a lot to look at on this one page, because at the top they've sectioned the different type of coasters into these sort of subcategories, I guess. We've got chain lift, launch, alternate lift, which is interesting, suspended, wooden, wing, water, and special. Are there that many wing coasters that it needs its own category? I don't think so, but I'm interested. But as you can see, you can select a model of coaster, and we've got loads of different ones here. They have titled them quite normally, you know, inverted flying, sit-down 4-seater, splash coaster, star loop, and on top of it, they have made their own manufacturers. So here we've got Valet and Nidwalden, which, if you shorten that, V&N, sounds like B&M. Outamax, if you do the opposite of out and max, it turns into Intermin. Big M's Rides, that's probably my favourite one. That's probably Mac Rides, although it could be something completely different. Murphy and Son sounds a lot like Marathon. And then Grand Coasters Worldwide has to be Great Coasters International. GCI. I'm really excited to see what the rest of them are called because honestly, it's something that us enthusiasts can appreciate and just sort of the general public players will just be like, oh, that's a cool name, or oh, that's the type of coaster I'm going to build. I love it. I might call Hyperia from now on a Big M Hypercoaster. Either way, of course, we've already had a look at some new flat rides. You could see the sort of spinny one before. There is one that is brand new going on in the sort of left background area and now it's covered up. But we also have the Monsoon Shoot Ride. That is one of those Zamperla drop and wave things, and it's so cool to see these types of rides come to Planet Coaster 2. And as you can see, that water animation splashing outwards, it looks so nice. It looks amazing. And this bit's quite funny actually, because they place down a coaster in the background and it's really far away, and casually as they're talking about cross-platform content, which is completely irrelevant to what he's about to do, he starts using the brand new pathing tool. And oh my god, it looks so much better than it did before. Eventually the chat started going crazy about it, so they had to sort of give in and give us a better look. And they did just that, because as you can see on the right, there are brand new different tools. There's more than one pathing tool. You can do what he just did with the path there and just create it in one straight line or curved line, depending on what you want, or you can use the draw tool. Look how useful that is going to be. You've got a classic path builder and the stamp builder as well. But I also sort of love the fact that they've kept the classic path builder in, because we just know that no one is going to use it. Either way, they did actually go to start making a custom roller coaster, and then they stopped themselves and said they don't have time and they're saving it for a future stream. That definitely wasn't intentional from them. But they have said that all of the stuff they showed us is barely scratching the surface of what is in this game, which is very exciting to hear. But saving that coaster builder for a future deep dive makes me equally sad and excited. I just really want some more elements added to it. But there is actually something that I didn't mention in my previous video from the announcement that has actually been confirmed. And that is one of those elements that I just spoke about, because Frontier have confirmed that drop tracks are going to be in the game. If you are unaware of what a drop track is, look at 13. Or even Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. You go into a building and you suddenly stop and start dropping down. And we've really needed this in a Planet Coaster game, because one didn't have it, so we'd have to sort of manufacture one ourselves. But seeing two, having it confirmed that we're going to have them, is very exciting. But that could also mean that they focused a lot on the switch track elements too, because if it's having to drop down and then line up with the track below to let it go through, then why can't they do it sideways as well? The drop tracks being confirmed is enough to satisfy me right now. I'm just waiting to see it in the flesh. I will be back here to make another video speculating and showing you guys what they talk about when they next do their deep dive again. Leave your thoughts on all of this down below in the comments, and if you want to watch my final recreation that I did in Planet Coaster 1, Voltron Nevera, click here. It took me way too long. Oh, and also subscribe. Thanks.